Robin stood outside the bank with tears running down his face, staring at a piece of paper that has just destroyed everything he believed about himself. His business was gone, his savings were gone, and the people who once begged to work with him wouldn't even answer his calls. But the most painful part? Robin had been warned earlier, but he didn't listen. He sat on the pavement outside the bank, holding his phone in one hand and the rejection letter in the other. He called one person, no answer. Another, no answer. Another one, straight to voicemail. A year earlier, Robin wouldn't walk into a room without people noticing him. He was confident, ambitious, charismatic. And more importantly, Robin believed he was blessed. He believed there was something special about his life. He believed that somehow, no matter what happened, things would eventually work out for him. And that belief became dangerous. Because Robin slowly stopped seeing his blessing as something he needed to develop. He started seeing it as something that would save him. And that difference changed everything. Robin wasn't lazy in the traditional sense. He had dreams. Big dreams. He wanted to build a successful company, make money, become respected, and live a life that would make his family proud. And when people asked him how he was going to accomplish all of it, Robin always had the same answer. Something will work out. His friends would ask, "What is your plan?" Robin would smile. "I'm blessed. I don't need to worry too much." Someone would tell him to learn a skill. He will respond, "There is time." Someone would tell him to save money. He will respond, "I will make more later. I already know what I'm capable of. Money comes to me always," he will gladly respond. And when an older man named Daniel, who had built a successful business from almost nothing, sat him down one afternoon, Robin receives perhaps the most important advice of his life. Daniel looked him directly in the eyes. "Robin, being blessed doesn't mean you don't have to prepare." He smiled, but Daniel continued, "Your future is being built by what you do today." Robin nodded politely, but he wasn't listening. He was waiting for Daniel to finish, because Robin had already decided what he believed. He believed his destiny was guaranteed. Robin eventually started a small business, and surprisingly, things went well. His first few months were exciting. Customers came, money came, people complimented him. His confidence exploded. But something else happened. His early success became evidence for the belief that had been quietly destroying him. Robin thought, "See, I told you, I'm different." Instead of asking, "What did I do right and how can I improve?" he asked, "Why should I change anything?" That was the beginning. He stopped studying, stopped learning, stopped listening, stopped tracking his expenses carefully. He stopped asking questions. And whenever someone tried to correct him, Robin didn't see advice. He saw doubt. He thought people were trying to limit him. Robin began spending tomorrow's success before tomorrow ever arrived. As the business grew, Robin upgraded his lifestyle. A better apartment, a better car, expensive clothes, restaurants, parties, weekend trips. He wanted people to see that he was successful. But there was a problem. Robin was building the appearance of success faster than he was building the foundation for it. His friend Marcus noticed. "Robin, you are making money, but you are spending like you have already made millions." He laughed. "You worry too much." Marcus shook his head. "I'm serious." Robin leaned back. "You know what my problem is?" "What is your problem?" "You think too small." Marcus went quiet. Robin smiled. "I've got a blessing on my life. I'm not going to live like I'm afraid of tomorrow." Marcus looked at him. "I'm not telling you to be afraid of tomorrow. I'm telling you to prepare for it." Robin dismissed him. Again, another warning, ignored. Another piece of wisdom, rejected. Another opportunity to change his future, thrown away. Then business started changing. Competition increased. Customers became more demanding. Costs went up. The market shifted, and suddenly, the things Robin had ignored became important. His competitors were learning. Robin wasn't. They were improving their systems. Robin was spending money. They were studying their customers. Robin was trusting his instinct. They were building reserves. Robin was living as if good times could never end. For the first time, Robin's business began losing money. His accountant showed him the numbers. "We need to make some changes." Robin looked at the report. "How bad is it?" The accountant replied, "Bad enough that you need to act now." "Don't panic. I have survived worse." But he hadn't though. That was the problem. Robin had never actually experienced the consequences of his habit, so he mistook his lack for ability. One morning, Robin received an email from his biggest client. They were ending their contract. Robin stared at the screen. That single client represented a huge portion of his revenue. He immediately called them. What is going on? The response was simple. We are moving in another direction. Robin hung up the call. His heart started beating faster. He opened his bank account. The number wasn't what he expected. He checked again. Then again. His expenses were eating everything. His business had debt. His personal lifestyle was expensive. And his emergency savings, almost nothing left. Robin finally felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. Not the fear of failure. The fear of realizing that failure had already arrived. Daniel called him. The older man had heard about the situation. Robin, come and see me. Robin didn't want to go, but eventually he went. Daniel looked at him quietly. Are you ready to listen now? Robin looked down. What do you mean? You have been giving advice for years. Robin became defensive. I made mistakes and everyone else makes mistakes. Daniel shook his head. No, mistakes happen, but you were warned about almost every one of them. Silence. Daniel continued. Robin, you kept expecting your future to rescue you from the decisions you were making today. Robin said nothing. Daniel leaned forward. Your blessing was never the problem. Then what was it? Let me tell you your problem. Your belief that being blessed meant you didn't have to build. That sentence hit Robin harder than anything else. Because suddenly he could see it. The late night he should have been studying, the money he should have saved, the skills he should have developed, the people he should have listened to, the opportunities he had rejected because he thought another one would always come. The warnings, one after another. His yesterday had been speaking to his today for years, and now his today was speaking. Robin tried to save the company, but he had waited too long. He borrowed money, he cut expenses, he tried new strategies, but some problems cannot be solved by panic after years of neglect. Eventually, the business collapsed. His car was sold, his apartment was gone, employees moved on, friends disappeared. And the man who once walked around believing nothing could touch him found himself sitting alone in a small room staring at the ceiling. That was when Robin finally broke. Not because he had lost money, but because he realized something much worse. He had participated in his own downfall. Nobody had destroyed his future. He had simply kept giving his future the wrong materials. He had planted arrogance and expected humility. He had planted procrastination and expected achievement. He had planted poor decisions and expected extraordinary results. And now the harvest had arrived. That night, Robin found an old notebook. Inside were goals he had written years earlier. He turned the pages. There was the business he wanted to build, the person he wanted to become, the money he wanted to save, the skills he wanted to learn, the life he wanted to create. Then he noticed something. Almost every dream was still there, but Robin wasn't there. The future version of himself that he had imagined never appeared, and Robin finally understood why. He had been waiting for his future self to become disciplined, but his future self could only become what his present self practiced. He had been waiting for the right opportunity, but he hadn't prepared himself to recognize or handle it. He had been waiting for success, but success had been waiting for him to become capable of carrying it. Robin didn't become successful again overnight. There was no miracle, no sudden investor, no mysterious opportunity, no lucky break, and that was exactly what he needed. He started from the bottom again, but this time he did things differently. He studied, he listened, he saved. He learned from people who knew more than him. He stopped trying to look successful and started trying to become valuable. When he didn't understand something, he asked. When someone corrected him, he listened. When he made a mistake, he studied it. When he earned money, he didn't immediately spend it. When he had an opportunity, he prepared before jumping, and slowly something changed. His habit changed, his thinking changed, his discipline changed, his character changed, and eventually his results began changing too. Years later, Robin sat across from a young man who reminded him of his younger self. The young man was ambitious, confident, full of dreams, and he said something Robin had once said. I know I'm going to make it. I feel like I am blessed. Robin smiled. I hope you are. The young man looked confused. You hope? Robin nodded. Being blessed is a beautiful thing, but don't make the mistake I made. What mistake? Robin responded. Your life doesn't suddenly become successful because you believe you have a great future. He pointed toward the floor. Your future is being built down here. Where? In the small decisions nobody sees. The young man listened. Robin said, your future is in what you read today. It is in what you practice today, in whether you keep your word when nobody is watching. Then Robin paused and said the lesson he had learned the hard way. Your today is from your yesterday, and your tomorrow will be from today. Listen while the lesson is still cheap, because the decisions you are making today are not disappearing. They are traveling forward. Every habit, every sacrifice, every hour, every choice, every person you listen to, every time you say yes, every time you say no, you are sending something ahead of you. And one day, your future self will meet everything your present self has been sending. So make sure you are sending something good, because your today is from your yesterday, and your tomorrow will be from today. Start building it.